breakfast in bed, but not in bed. Mackie's still asleep. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
You let me sleep.
I'm full, and my back hurts like super bad. Yeah, don't make her.
Oh my God, not the draws. Gotta crop that out. You said what?
I said I thought you were gonna be up much earlier and sit in the patio like you normally do, making a vlog or editing or something.
My personal time is when everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
Thinking about
I'm gonna jump now. Watch your phone.
I just wanted to be a reminder for anybody who is aligning their life with God and hearing God's voice and just trying to stay on a path that God has called them to be on. I wanted to let you know that it is okay to start over. It's okay to feel like God brought you somewhere and it's temporary. Especially if you're on social media or you're doing content and you feel like you're just looking for stability or you're just looking for something to stick, you know, to be long term. But the truth is when you're walking with God, it is a roller coaster. It is up and down. It's all over the place. You know, a lot of people make it seem like you have this calling, you live at night and just live a happy life. With aligning with God comes with detaching from everything that has been attached to you that's not supposed to. It's breaking out of cycles or generational curses that were meant to destroy you. It's removing people out of your life that you love dearly but are preventing you from reaching the highest level of yourself. It can be isolation for a long time, and for those who fear being alone, that's probably the biggest thing. It's thinking that your dream was something, but all along it was something else. And so maybe you were in a career for so many years and all of a sudden you feel it on your heart to do something else. It's letting go of everything that you thought was for you, but really was what you created for you, not what God called for you. So it's just a reminder that you can start over. You're going to have redirection after redirection when you're aligning with God and what He wants for you. And so a lot of people aren't going to understand that. So just share your story. Don't look for support in what you see, because what you see, everybody else can't see. What God has called you to do is only for you. If it was for everybody else, then they would all be with you during this journey. Even if they do support you, they just may not get it. So understand that nothing is permanent. It's all about becoming a new version of you. And so that is going to look all different kind of ways, but just keep your faith and stand in your purpose. It's been a minute since I made a video. It's Tuesday, June 10th. Bro, they hating. They don't want me to make this video. Let me come over here. I don't really know if that made it any better, but yeah, it's June 10th, Tuesday. I didn't even know the date. I had to look at my calendar. I haven't really done an update. Life has just been going at like 100 miles per hour, it feels like. But we just stayed in an Airbnb for 2 nights. We're checking out today. And let's see, so we were in the car. We got an Airbnb for Friday and Saturday. Hennessy started working at the club, and it just was really hard for her to work at the club and come back to the car. Like, it really was weighing really heavy on her mental. As you can imagine, sleeping in a car, being homeless is, I can't even explain to you what it does to you mentally, physically, and emotionally. But she still was just trying, but eventually she crashed, and we knew she would. So we had to get, an Airbnb. And plus, it's just hard. Like, it's like only one of us can really work for real, because the other has to be with the girls and our dog. And we're in Arizona, one of the hottest places, there is. And so, it really was just starting to eat at us really badly, like everybody. So, we got Airbnb for Friday and Saturday. She was able to get some rest, was able to work, and then came Sunday. It always hits hard when we leave shelter and we have to go back to the car. It was extremely hot, and we come to it every day. We're like, man, we can't do, like, we're just trying to figure out how to get out of it. The reason we're sleeping in the car is because it's like, we don't want to spend all our money just to keep shelter, because then how are we going to get our own shelter? What, are we going to live in Airbnbs and hotels for our whole life? You know what I mean? So then we're like, all right, we gotta stay in the car so we can save money. But when you stay in the car, it eats at you, and it makes it hard for you to function, hard for you to go to work. Only one of us can go to work. That puts a lot of pressure on one person. I've looked into, like, the YMCA summer camps. Bro, it's like $1,200 a month for childcare. It's $160 a person, and that's with applying for financial aid through the YMCA. They know we're homeless. They know what kind of money we're making, and that was the discounted price. It's insane. So, like, to keep my sister safe is my biggest thing. So one of us has to always be with them, and we're in the car. You know what I mean? So, like, when we have shelter, we both can work, because my sisters are old enough, to look out after themselves for a little while. So, yeah, so Sunday came, and it was just like, we were not in a good space. So I was like, look, we're not gonna be able to keep living in the car. We're not, like, as much as we want to, like, we're both gonna end up in a space that we can't get out of, and we're not gonna be able to work, and we're just gonna be here frying away in the car. So we decided that we have no choice but to maintain shelter if we want to be okay. And so Sunday, we checked out at 11. We weren't able to check into a new Airbnb until 4, but we got this Airbnb for 2 nights. So from Sunday night, Monday night, today's Tuesday. So we've had shelter for 4 nights, and it's felt amazing, but obviously our body and our mind knows today we're checking out, and that's always the hardest part. So, but really I want to make this video to really just show where I'm at mentally and what I'm maneuvering through. And so my mind has been idle a lot on, like, what's next, what's to do, all these other things, right? Because I'm just like, this is not doable. And so I try not to beat myself up too much or be too hard on myself and be like, coming here was a mistake. I don't see anything as a mistake. I heard God's voice loud and clear told me to come here. And what people aren't going to understand is, just because God tells you to come somewhere doesn't mean it's permanent. That doesn't mean, oh, that's it and everything just gets better. Where I come from in my situation, breaking from generational curses, it takes a long time before things get good. You have to fight through hell. You have to walk through fire over and over again. So if I never came to Arizona, I wouldn't have my sisters. I wouldn't be free from our abuse alone, and I wouldn't have broke a generational chain, curse, trauma. I would still be in our hometown. My sisters would still not be with me, and we still would be playing mom's abusive games. So I truly believe that God put on my heart to come to Arizona because it was familiar. Arizona was somewhere that I had been. He knows how I am with planning and knowing that if he put on my heart to go to a different state, I might have been able to receive that, but I've been like, God, I ain't never been there. I don't know what it's looking like. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to leave your hometown in general, but to have kids with you and to be in my situation, yeah. So I truly believe he brought me to Arizona to get my sisters and to get out of my hometown, far away from my hometown, far away from that environment, to be able to breathe, to be able to think clearly, to be in a better mental space, to not have the weight of all that trauma so accessible to me. So I could then hear what he has for me next. Because when you're in your hometown and you got everybody around you that's not supposed to be around you or has access to you, it really plays with that part. So that's what I believe. And I have been able to breathe. I do see things. I can hear God. I am reflecting and planning and figuring out what is next, not only for me, but my sisters and my family. And so I think a lot of people can learn from this is because, just because God tells you to do something doesn't mean that that's it. Like, I know I have many destinations in my life, and this was one of them to get me to the next one. But if I would have never went to this one, I would never get to the next one. So, truthfully, I'm going to be honest with you. When I came to Arizona 3 years ago, I was in a different space. My point of view was different. I came to Arizona like a mental health retreat. I had just almost attempted to end my life. And so I was in a very dark space. I was recovering from that. Anybody who has attempted or has gotten close to attempted, that emotional, I can't even explain it. The next morning when I woke up from all that crying, everything pouring out, your mind, all that, like, I barely could walk. It took everything out of me. So it takes a while for you to recover, to just be able to walk again, bathe again, eat again, let alone, be functional to work and realize you're still here and, what's next for you. So when I came to Arizona, it was so eye-opening for me because it was the first time I had ever moved away from my hometown. Like, yeah, I was in the Army, so like I've been to several different places for training, but I always would come back to my hometown. So this was the first time to actually live outside of my hometown for 6 months and just be like, wow. It was like, wow, there's so much more to offer than my small town. You know what I mean? So it was more so euphoric to me in that space that I was in. So I didn't really need much, I guess. I just needed to breathe. I needed to be free. I needed to be somewhere with sunshine. And so now, 3 years later, I'm much further in my mental health journey, much further in my healing journey, much further in my walk with faith. I wasn't walking with faith then. I am now. So I see things at a higher frequency or just differently than I did then. Then I feel like I had blinders on still. Now I feel like I see the whole picture. And I know what I want. I feel what my soul craves. I know what God wants for me. I know what's for me. And also with my sisters, I know what I want for them. Raising them and the type of culture and surroundings that they're surrounded by. So when I came here this time, I seen things that I didn't see then. I see that there's no culture. There's barely any black people. There are, but it's like where y'all at? And so, obviously being homeless, sleeping in your car, it's hard to find community because, but still, we shouldn't have to go find it, is how I feel about it. So that has been very disappointing to me because that is the biggest thing that my soul craves is culture. It's diversity. It's being around my people. Not going somewhere to where I feel isolated from everything. Like, I need community. I'm so used to doing things on my own. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with it, and that was surprising to me. It's very surprising to me because I thought Arizona was going to be it. This is what I've been praying for, to come back here, to bring my sisters here just to find out that, yeah, it's not it. And some people are gonna say, oh, you're not really even giving it a chance. You're in your car, you're sleeping in your car. Like, it's not for you to understand. This is my story. This is my journey. This is what works for me. Maybe you would have done it differently. That's okay. Do it differently then. If you hearing my story and you're like, nah, I would have did it differently, do that then. This is my life. This is about me finding my happiness, my peace, finding our home for my family, not just being somewhere because I made it here. And realizing that nothing has to be permanent. You can change your mind. You're allowed to outgrow something. Even if people think, oh, it gotta take a long time for you to outgrow. No. When you're able to realize something's not for you, you outgrow it and you move on. Everything's not about wasting your life away until you're like, okay, yeah, it's been long enough. No. Some of us, we don't just waste our time. We know when something's not for us and we just keep it moving. So yeah, I've really just been thinking about, all right, well, if it's not here, then where? Because I know what my dream is. I'm gonna go to barber school. A barber school here is like an hour and 30 minutes, like a good one. And I knew that. But I said, okay, if I'm able to live my dream and I just gotta drive an hour and 20 away, I'll do that. But now in our situation, it's just like, it's a lot, So, I don't know. I'll catch y'all up more later. I guess it's just letting y'all know where I'm at with it right now. I had a childhood friend reach out when they first seen me in Arizona. It was just like, you and your family are always welcome here in Texas. And, when I first became homeless, almost 3 years ago, she offered that as well. So, I guess it's something I'm considering. I'm really scared to live with somebody else, but a village is what I crave. So I'm considering that. I know Texas is where a lot of people go, like Dallas, Houston. I would go to New York with Hennessy if I could. It's just so damn expensive and it's hard to find a place out there. So it's like, trying to set myself up to get back on my feet. And Hennessy, she's able to, live with her best friend, her and Chanel, so that helps. But it's not like all of us are able to go find shelter in New York. So it's a lot, man. A lot of planning, a lot of thinking. But all I know is the time here in Arizona is just, and it's getting hot. Like I thought when we push on July, August is when we get like 110, but it was 106 yesterday. I got a headache. It's really hot today. It's too damn hot to be in your car. And when I knew we were coming to Arizona, I didn't think that we would be in our car. I thought that we'd be able to afford staying on Airbnb. So we got smacked with that when we were already here. If I knew that we were going to be in our car, I would have never came to Arizona. It's too damn hot for that. Yeah. Y'all bathroom is attached to it. So that's dope.
I want to say, hi, hi. Last time your guys' view was just the car shop. Whatever. I keep thinking.
What we got here? What we got here? You got sesame.
My baby. What?
Go ahead and grab it, man.
The after results of this one. Right.
Bro, if it's not one thing, it's another. Literally about to check out of this one and walk down the hall to go to the other one.
I wonder what theirs looks
The car is in the shop, so we were gonna go with a different Airbnb, but we would have spent too much money on Ubers and all that. So we were lucky that the host that hosts this Airbnb has like so many other ones in the building, and we were able to get it. And so we communicated with him, and instead of checking out at 10 and then waiting till 3 to check in, nobody was in that one, so we're able to check out of here and just walk across and go to the other one. Alright, y'all ready?
How? Or do they have to?
I don't know, you're gonna have to see. Take a left. You know, all the way on the corner. Yep, pass it, the street left, the left. It's the most convenient thing ever. Voila! Does it look the same?
No.
It's the kitchen is the opposite. Yeah, that's y'all room.
It's the opposite.
Now we gotta get used to this one. Wow. All right, y'all can go back to sleep. Easiest check-in ever. Shout out to the host for looking out. Otherwise, we would have been on a curb in 115-degree weather, waiting until 3 p.m. All right, show me how it's done since you said you were pro. So we just switched from one Airbnb to the other. It was right down the hall. We got blessed with that because the car has been in the shop since yesterday, and we had to check out technically this morning. And you know, checkout is like, here it was 10, and so then checking into another Airbnb would be 3. So we didn't want to be sitting on a curb somewhere with nowhere to go in this heat. So thankfully they had multiple places here in the same building. We just literally walked down a couple doors. But I just kind of want to make a video on just where I'm at mentally. I just really just feel numbed out. You know, I've learned how to find the switch inside when things are just too much. It's a survival mode type of thing. I flip the switch and I just numb myself out because I can't afford to, you know, I know that I am mentally like crashing or spiraling, but like I said this before, I don't know if I said it on camera. It's like, imagine like in a movie, you're at like, there's nothing but trees and they're like extremely high, right? And imagine being on like the highest tree in the world and you fall and you're just trying to hold on to something. You just keep hitting branches after branches and you're trying to grip onto something before you hit the bottom, because you know if you hit the bottom, it's over with. That's how I feel right now. That's how my life feels. It feels like I can't grasp anything. It just feels like life is just, you know. My faith is still strong. I still pray to God every day, but I'm just in a space where it's like, you know, no matter if I decide to keep trying or if I just lay here, life continues the way it's going to continue. It's already written. And so that's why I try to stay as positive as possible, but I'm tired, I'm exhausted, my family is exhausted, you know. Being homeless, sleeping in your car, like, it's like, what is life, you know? I never would imagine this would be my life, almost being 29 years old. And I know all the great things that I'm doing that people don't consider successful. I have my sisters back with me. They're not in an abusive home no more. I don't have to worry about getting a call that my sisters, the worst has happened to my sisters, or they're in the system. Like, so no matter what the situation looks like, I'm grateful for that. I'm doing things that the majority of the world just wouldn't understand because they don't have that calling. But when it comes to having a home and living your dreams, like, all that's on hold. But my biggest dream has always been to save my sisters and myself from generational curses. So I have to remind myself that. But my hair is crazy. I need a haircut, but you know that's not important right now. So I don't really know what more I could do. But like I've said before, you know, Hennessy has had the option to go to New York for shelter, but it's just for her and the dog. And that's been hard for her to leave us in this situation, but honestly, it's the best for her, for us. Like, she goes there, she'll be safe, she'll be with, you know, her support system. She'll be able to take care of her mental. That's the biggest thing with this. Take care of her mental and, you know, work and be where she wants to be and to be able to follow her dreams. And if that means half of our family is getting shelter while the other works on it, then that's what it is. But right now, her being in this situation and trying to work mentally is just, she's gonna come to a point where she can't function. So we're gonna have to split up here really soon. And it has taken a lot of strength for her to do that. It takes a lot of strength to leave your family in a situation like this. And I don't even see it as leaving, but that's just what I'm saying. Like, you know, so you can get shelter and so you can get better and be okay and have opportunities, so it affects your whole family, you know. So all I have is my faith, you know. I don't know much of anything, but I do know that, thank God, you know, I didn't know how expensive it was gonna be, but I knew let's just add up lately, you know. But I put so much money into this car, but before we came to Arizona, that was like $2,000. I don't know the exact amount, but it was on the low $2,000, and just so we could drive here, so we didn't have to get a U-Haul, because that would have been way more. And needing a vehicle, like, you know what I mean? That's our shelter at the end of the day, and how I work. So $2,000 before we came here. Then when we got here, was smelling gas and all that. It was giving us headaches and making us sick. So the fuel pump needed to be replaced and oil change. So that was like $1,100. So we're looking at like $3,300, right? And then when I got it fixed last time for the fuel pump, they told me, oh, your radiator needs replaced. That was another $1,200 that I didn't have at the time. So then what's going on now, you know, the engine light went from just turning on to flashing, and I've had experience with this car. When it flashed, something serious is going on. You're not supposed to drive your car. So that came on. I was hoping it was just a radiator. So, right, I could just get that fixed. Nope. It's the intake manifold, $1,300. So 33 plus $1,300, $4,600, almost $5,000. And it's not even, still got to get the radiator. So I had to get a loan. You know, I asked them if they offer any payment plans, and he said it was just this financial thing. Normally I don't get approved for it, but Thank God I did get approved for it. I got 90 days to pay that off. If not, y'all know how it goes. I'm gonna be paying like quadruple what I even owed. So in 90 days I gotta pay $1,500 off, and I gotta make sure that I do that because, man. So yeah, but I'm grateful that I got approved for that. You know, I hate getting loans, especially being where we're at, and I would have loved to use that loan for a place, but you know, I only got approved for $1,500 though, so hey, be able to get the car fixed and just have shelter, you know. But yeah, I'm just feeling, you know, when I go to sleep, my subconscious is just like, not the best thoughts, just like, this is your life, Bree. You're 28 years old, laying in a bed in an Airbnb. You no longer have a home. All you have is your car. You got your family. Y'all don't know what's gonna happen next. Like, you were supposed to be doing big things. What is this? And then the pressure of, you know, I'll be 29 next month, and it's like, what do you got to show for 29 years of your life? Yeah, my subconscious be whooping my ass sometimes, but so yeah, man, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, I feel outside of my body. I don't feel connected. I feel like I'm in somebody else's body. My days, man, I feel like I'm in a cage. Inside a body that I no longer want to be in, living a life that I don't want to live no more. But I don't want to get too deep into that. I just made this video to look back on, you know, when things get better. I pray they get better. I trust that they'll get better, but yeah. Alright, y'all, I just took a nap. As you can see, look at my hair, bro. I'm about to go get the car now. I'll update once I'm in there, or once I get it. Yo, the AC is blasting because it's hot as hell here in Arizona. Just got the car back. Thank God for that loan. I'm not happy that I had to get a loan, but if I pay it off in 90 days, then I will only pay $40 in interest. If it goes past the 90 days, it's gonna go crazy. It's gonna be over like $5,000-$6,000, and the loan was only for like $1,300 or something. So back in the car, honestly, I'm just tired of this car breaking down and putting so much money into it and still having to pay payments. But I still owe a lot on this car. You know, I haven't had this car for that long, so I still owe about $15,000. But man, I'm saying this out loud. My phone definitely is running out of storage, so it cut off. I was at a perfect time. I made it back to the Airbnb, but I was saying that, like, I'm making this video because I'm gonna look back on, and I'm gonna keep pushing content. I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm gonna keep walking in the path that God has for me. I'm gonna keep living out my dreams, and I will be financially free eventually. It won't always be poverty and struggling, you know what I mean? And I'll be able to pay my car off one day, and my next car won't be a car note. I'll have it straight in cash. So yeah, you know, it's cheaper to fix my car, which is also our shelter, than to choose not to and still have to pay the payments, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but, so, I can't remember everything that I said, but I did. Of course, there's my girl trying in and out for the first time in Arizona. Line is crazy. Let's see if this little burger worth it. So,
I was eating the fries.
what's the verdict?
The fries are good.
Yeah, I had a fry. It was. If only I had 8 burgers. Let's try the burger.
I Auntie, please say you don't like this.
It's super good.
It's good.
I see the lights. Like, I'm being so real with you. Like, that's how Genesis and
I
you
have
describe
PTSD. Relax.
This is how Genesis wakes up.
Okay,
guys,
so the burger was a
10 out of 10. It tastes like a McDonald's, what was it inside?
Big Mac.
A Big Mac.
Back up, Mikey. Back up.
Not advertising to them, all beef. And then these fries, they're super crunchy. I love crunchy fries, but they taste like super thin cardboard that got deep fried and thrown with a lot of salt on them.
So what you rate the fries?
A 3 out of 10. I won't name the brand. I mean,
This is how Genesis wakes
I
up.
won't name the brand.
No shade or nothing.
This is how. This
No
is how.
shade.
This,
No shade, but
Mia, this is how Genesis wakes up.
like,
Auntie,
what is?
Cheers. Last time you sharing anything with me until you go to New York.
just leave